Very warm welcome to today's session, my shining stars. How are you? Hope you all are doing well. That's great. This is Hershey, your science instructor. Today I am taking up the chapter number 4, which is getting to know about plants of your course book, Science Horizon, Class 6, by Acknowledge Series, Amit Publishing House. Alright. So let's see the chapter contains what we are going to learn today, right? We are going to learn about herbs, shrubs and trees, plant system, root, their functions and the modifications, stem, its functions and the modification, and the leaf and the flower, the pollination too we are going to learn in this. So are you all excited? That's really great. So let's begin with the chapter, kids. Plants are the living organism that make their own food with the help of sunlight. Like we all organism or living organism depends upon the plant for their food directly or indirectly. Kids, we all know that plants are the universal producers. We all depend on plant for our food. Even animals also depend on plant for their food, right? During photosynthesis, plants also produces oxygen gas and release it into atmosphere. That also we have learned in the earlier classes, that plants do the photosynthesis with the help of sunlight, water, soil, carbon dioxide and the chlorophyll, right? So they prepare their own food. First they consume their own food for their growth, right? For their repairment, and then extra food will be stored in the plant's part in the form of starch. That's really good, kids. Now they also releases oxygen gas while they are doing photosynthesis, right? And this is useful for us. Alright. And what we exhale carbon dioxide. Plants consume the carbon dioxide and they releases oxygen gas, which is beneficial for us, right? So animals use oxygen for breathing. Plants also provide so many things like wood, medicines and other materials, right? We all know, we have learned what we are getting from plants, right? We will not discuss in detail here. It has been estimated that there are near about 2,50,000 types of plants, right? For the better, they have been divided into two groups so that we can study them easily. So we have grouped them into two. First is flowering plant and the non-flowering plants, right? So let us study more about the plants according to their size, the nature, the size, shape, we have also grouped them. We have studied about the herbs and the shrubs, climbers, creepers, trees, right? We have already studied in the previous classes about the classification of the plants, right? But let's revise one more time what is herbs, shrubs and trees are, right? So let's start with it. Small plants with tender green stem is called herbs. Tender greens means it is soft. It is not hard stem, right? And it is green. It is with the chlorophyll, right? In herbs, branches are either not present or very few. And the examples are coriander, mustard, petunia, wheat, paddy, grass and mint, right? So herbs are the small plants with the tender green stem, and either they have branches or not sometimes they don't have branches, right? Examples we have already seen, right? And you can say these herbs are the seasonal plants. They don't live for long period, all right? Now, medium-sized plants with hard stems. These are small plants, kids. Herbs are small plants. Now we are talking about the shrubs, and the shrubs are again medium-sized plants, but they have hard stems, right? And they are called shrubs. Branches are present and they arises near the base of the plants. You can see the shrub, these are medium size and the branches grow near the base, means near the ground you will see so many branches. Like in trees are tall, they have branches, but it is not near the base. जमीन के पास से नहीं उगती हैं, but in the case of shrubs they have branches near the base. Alright, now examples of shrubs are hibiscus, rose, lemon, China rose, etc. These are some well-known examples of shrubs. And one more thing is there that shrub lives for few years, right? They don't die, or you cannot say that they are the seasonal plants. They live for few years, right? Now, next category we have the tall plants with the hard and thick stem, which is called trunk. And these type of plants are called trees. They have hard and woody trunk, and it is wider. It is not narrow, right? So branches are present in the upper part of the stem. You can see the picture of tree, and you must have seen the picture in your surroundings, the trees in your surroundings, right? So the branches are grown above the ground. Examples: neem, people, mango, gulmohar, jamun, etc. The list is huge. We have already know that more than 2,50,000 varieties of plants are there, right? So list is huge, right? Now we will learn about the next category, which is climbers and creepers, right? So there are some plants having weak stem that enables them to stay what? To stand upright, right? So the stem is very weak, so it is not possible to stand upright. So what do they do? Out of these, some plants spread out on the ground, or you can say that they creep on the ground, and that is why we have given them the name, which is creepers. Very nice, kids. You all are very intelligent. You got it right. Now next is other climb up with the help of support, because they have very thin stem, so they are not able to stand, as I told you. So some creep on the ground, or some need support to stand up, right? They need support, so they climb with the help of other trees or other plants. They grow along the sticks around the some support, right? So they are called climbers. Example of climbers are grapevine and money plant. You must have seen money plant. You all must be having at your place, right? So money plants grows along the sticks, right? So they are called climbers. Alright, so moving to the next, we will see the plants have two systems. One is root system, another is shoot system. So we will discuss about these two, right? So let's begin with the plant system. Or to study the plant system, collect a herb near your locality. So what we will do? We will see it is divided into two. Actually, it is not divided, but for the better study, to know more about the plants, we will study in two parts. First is root system. Here you can see in this picture, this is root system, and the another is shoot system. Alright. So root system, as we know that root grows below the ground. Alright. So it consists what? So many roots there, and you all know the function of roots, right? We will also discuss about the functions, right? So the main part of the plant that remains in the soil, it is called what? It is called root. It consists of main root and it branches, right? You can see it is not a single root. Many smaller roots are rising with it, right? So the other part which is green, which grows above the ground, that has what? It has leaves, it has branches, buds, flowers, fruits. So this is called the shoot system, right? So let's talk about the root system first. So root are underground non-green part of the plant body which fixes into soil. It holds the soil, kids, and that is why the plant is able to stand. It gives strength and it also absorbs water and other nutrients from the soil and pass it to the stem, to the upper side, right? If you look at the root system of plants like mustard, peas, tulsi, sunflower, these are some examples. You'll find that these plants can be divided into two groups. In plants like mustard and pea, there is a main root from which a number of small branches are arising, right? You can see, I'll show you the picture of taproot also. Taproot, this is called taproot, and the other name of taproot, it is lateral roots. Taproot is also known as lateral roots, right? Now, what is it? It is a single root, and out of this root, so many branches or roots, smaller roots are arise, right? In plants like grass, wheat or banana, there is no main root. A number of similar sized roots arises in cluster. Clusters matlab guchhe mein. So many roots have grown together, all together. So this is called cluster below the stem and spread out in soil, right? These roots are called fibrous root or adventitious root, right? Fibrous root and taproot. Two types of roots are there in plants. So let's see the picture of taproot. This is taproot, and the second one is the fibrous root. You can see here the taproot has a single root, or you will say this is the main root, and so many small roots have grown with the main root, right? And in the fibrous root system, there is no main root, and the roots have grown in cluster, right? So this is called the fibrous root system, and another one is taproot system. Now we will study about the function of the roots, right? Root fixes the plant. We know it very well that it fixes the plant in the soil firmly. And root, again I told you that root takes or absorbs the water and minerals from the soil and transport it to the other or to the stem rather, and this is the stem's responsibility to transfer this water and minerals to other parts of the plants. Now root helps in holding the soil together, thus erosion of soil particles by wind and water gets prevented. It also prevents the soil erosion, right? So this is the functions that roots are performing for plant. Now, modification of the roots. We'll see some roots have been modified. Some plants food stores food in the roots also. So, we call it modified roots. Right? Due to this reason, their shape gets modified. We have studied in the previous classes that we also eat root as a part of the plant, right? We eat root as vegetables, we eat it, and these are called modified root. Why these are modified root? Because the food is stored in the roots, and because of the food, the shape got modified. So we call it modified root. These roots are the roots as in case of carrot. Some examples: carrot, turnip, radish are eaten by us. So are we all clear about this? The modified roots? Very good. So let's see. In some other plants like banyan tree has extra roots that grow down from the branches. You can see in this picture. This is the picture of banyan tree. You'll find some roots that are coming down towards the ground, and they fixes themselves in the ground, in the soil, and this supports to the branches because banyan tree is huge in size. So roots are there. It is fixed in the soil also, but they have extra kind of root which is called prop roots, and these prop roots comes down, grow towards the ground and fixes themselves in the soil to give support to the tree, right? Are we clear, kids? So let's move ahead. Next is stem. We will discuss about stem here. Stem is the main axis of the shoot system, and stem bears all the leaves, branches, fruits, flowers, right? The point on stem where the branches and leaves arises is called node. You must have seen the stem of the plants. I'll just roughly draw for you. Like this is the stem. This is the thin stem. I'm not very good at drawing, but still I'm doing for you. And here is a point. You find this sort of a point. This is called node. This is node. The portion of the stem between two nodes. Here is a node, another node. Let's say it is here. So this is again node, and between two nodes, this portion is called what? It is called internode. Right? Between the two nodes, the portion which is there of stem, this portion is called internode, right? The tip of the stem or branch bears a bud called apical bud. Now, this is responsible for growth of the plant lengthwise, right? So, this is the apical bud. It is the topmost bud at the tip of the stem, right? And we call it terminal bud also. This apical bud is also known as terminal bud. This bud helps in lengthwise growth. Lengthwise growth means height of a plant. The leaves make an angle with the stem, and this angle is called as axile. This is there in the picture. This picture is given in your book, kids. So the node, near the node is responsible, like the branches grows from nodes, right? And just near with the node there is the bud, and you will call it axile bud, or it is also present in these axials. These buds are called axillary buds and give rises to branches. It gives rises to the branches, or you can say the plant grow widthwise and the apical bud or the terminal bud, it gives rise or height to the plant. Alright, so let's see in the picture, it will be more clear to you. In this picture, this is the herb, this is the stem of herb, right? So we call it stem because it is green in color and it is tender. So this is the picture of a herb in which you can see the nodes. This is the node and again one more node is there. As I told you, so this part is called internode. The portion which is between the two nodes, it is called the internode, and this is called the apical bud. This is the apical bud. It gives length to the plant or it grows in height, and this is the, again you can see this bud. This is called the axile bud, right? And from here the branches grow. But remember one thing, the branches grow, and if this branch has bud, again this will called as apical bud, right? It is not only the topmost bud is called the apical bud, right? This is apical bud, and if the branches has arisen with the nodes and this branches has the topmost bud, this is called again the apical bud, right? Have you got it, kids? Very good. So let's see the functions of the stem. The stem helps to keep the plant upright. The stem and its branches bears the leaf, hold the leaves in such a manner that they get enough light for photosynthesis. We all know that leaves are the kitchen of a plant and it has chlorophyll, so leaves are responsible for making food. And how a plant make a food? It make with the help or the process for the making food is called photosynthesis. So arrangement of leaves in such a manner on stem that they get proper sunlight, air and all the required nutrients so that photosynthesis can be done easily. Now the next function is the stem conducts, or you can say it transports water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, because photosynthesis can be done only with the presence of water and nutrients, and this is carried by the stem and transported to other parts of the plant. It also carries the food prepared by the leaves to the other parts of the plant. It not only carries water and minerals or nutrients that is absorbed by the root, it also transports the food that is prepared by leaves during photosynthesis to the other part of the plant. And this is how the plant grows, because we also need food to grow. Similarly, plants also need food to grow. All right, so they consume their food and then extra food will be stored in the form of starch. Now, when young, the green stem prepares food photosynthesis. In some cases, stems are modified to store food. We also eat some of the stems as our food. Yes, we already know this. And the examples are ginger, potatoes, cactus. So, the stems are modified. We have learned the modified root. Similarly, we have the modified stems also, right? And garlic also, garlic, onion, these are some well-known examples of modified stem. So, stem in the cactus, we learned that there is no leaves in the cactus and the leaves have changed into thorns, and this part, this is stem, and the stem has chlorophyll and it make or do photosynthesis for the plant. So you can see in this picture, so these are common examples of modified stem. Alright kids, have you got it? Very good. Now, modifications of the stem. In some plants, you will notice thin thread-like structure. You can see in this picture also. This is the thread-like structure. You will notice the thread-like structure on the stem. These are modifications of the stem to support weak stem to grow up by coiling. We have seen that this structure has coiled the other stem or other plant. They have enough coiling around any rough surface. These modifications are known the stem tendrils. For examples, gourd, grapevine and passion flowers plants. These are examples of tendril stem. So this is the thread-like structure, and why the plants have this kind of structure? To give extra support. It coils with the rough surfaces and gives support to the plant. Alright, so let's move ahead. Next is leaf. Now we will discuss about the leaf structure. So a leaf is a flattered green structure which arises from the node. I told you, so nodes are the part from where the branches, the leaves arises. So from a node of a stem or its branches. Leaves of plants differ in shape, size and even colors also. You'll find different kinds of leaves. Some are big in size, some are small, some are narrow, some are wider, right? So the leaves, the shape of the leaves are different, sizes different and color is also different. So parts of leaf. Leaf consists of two main parts, the petiole and the leaf blade or lamina. So this is a stalk. This is sort of a stalk which connects leaf with the stem. Again, the leaves are grown where? The leaves are grown on stem. So petiole is a part that connects the leaf with the stem, right? This is petiole and this is stem. So petiole is connecting the leaf with the stem, and this part, this green part, you will finding this is called leaf blade or we call it lamina. Lamina or leaf blade. The flat green portion of the leaf is called leaf blade or lamina. It is attached to the stem with the help of petiole. If you observe the lamina carefully, you'll find a network of lines, right? This is the main rib or it is in the center. We call it midrib. This is the midrib. This is tube-like structure. You all must have drank the cold drink or other liquids with the help of straw. So straw is again the example of tube-like structure. It is hollow from inside, right? You can suck the cold drink or other liquids with it. So similarly, the leaf blade also have the tube-like structure which is called, this is in the center, so that is why we call it midrib. And we have, the leaves have other veins also. You can see some thinner veins, right? So these are, the lamina has midrib. You will find the network of line is present in it. The petiole continues in the lamina as the thick vein that I told you. It is called the mid vein, thick vein or the mid vein. Now it is named as midrib. Midrib branches out as vein to form a network These veins perform what? They have, why they are present on the leaves? So there are some certain functions that veins are performing, which includes transport water and food. Some veins are responsible to transfer the water and minerals that root has transferred to the stem, while others are responsible to transfer the food which is prepared by the leaf to the other parts of the plant. Now next, provides support to the leaves. So these are the functions of veins in leaves. The arrangement of veins in the leaf blade is called venation. You'll see the difference in the network of veins also. So we call it venation. Leaf venation may be either reticulate or parallel. Two kinds of venation you'll find in the leaves, and with the venation you can also check that the venation is also what you'll say is you can easily guess the root type, whether this plant has tap root or the fibrous root, just looking at the veins, the network of veins. So two types of networks are present. One is reticulate and another is parallel. We'll discuss about the reticulate venation. Veins are arranged in a net-like pattern or on the both side of the leaf. So examples: pea, petunia, gram, rose and mango, right? So according to the venation, we can also find out which kind of root this plant is having, right? So this is the picture of reticulate venation and the parallel venation. Reticulate venation, you see the network of veins on the both side of the leaves. This is the midrib, and this is the network of the other veins. This is called the reticulate venation, and this is the example or the picture of the venation, parallel venation. So in this parallel venation, veins run parallelly to one another. This is seen in the leaves of plants like grass, banana and palms. These are some examples of parallel venation. You can easily spot the difference between these two. Reticulate venation, it is a network of veins, like सब जगह से बहुत सारा network बन गया है. So this is reticulate venation. Another is the parallel venation, in which vein moves along in the parallel of each other. You can see this is a vein, again one more is there, one more is there. So this is called the parallel venation. It is interesting to note that by looking at the leaf venation, we can tell about the kind of root that I told you plants has without digging it. With the venation only, you can identify that this plant is having which kind of root system, whether this plant has the tap root or the fibrous root without digging it. You don't need to dig the plant. You can easily identify. How it is? Plants whose leaf shows reticulate venation have tap root, right? This type of venation has tap root and the parallel venation has fibrous root. So we can easily identify just by looking at the leaf of the plant. Are we all clear? Should we move ahead, kids? Very good, excellent. So let's see the functions of the leaf. We are hearing since beginning that the leaves are responsible for making food. It is kitchen, food factory. But now we will see how it make it food. Leaves make food for the plant by the process which is known as photosynthesis that we already know. Leaves require what? It requires water, carbon dioxide from the air, and how it breathes in or takes in the carbon dioxide with the help of stomata that are present underside of the leaf. And some aquatic plants have stomata on the upper side to get the air. And the presence of sunlight and green pigment, which is known as chlorophyll, present in the leaves. Food is prepared by leaves. Oxygen is given out, and that we know the process, but this is the equation that we don't know. Just remember this equation, and you don't need to explain the entire thing. So CO2, which is known as carbon dioxide, with water, which is H2O, in the presence of sunlight, and green pigment, which is chlorophyll. You can write down chlorophyll also instead of green pigment. So what is made? The food is made and oxygen is also released. So this is the simple equation by which you can explain the entire process of photosynthesis. So the food which is prepared by the leaf is a type of sugar and we call it glucose, right? The food the plant is making for its use, it is called glucose, and it stores the food in the form of starch. This glucose gets changed into starch before the plant stores it. Some of this food is used by the plants to perform their life activities for their repair. If you tear up leaf or you break a branch, so plant also repair itself, right? So it also need food, so they use it for its activities, and rest of the food which is left will be stored in different parts of the plant in the form of starch. So don't get confused between starch and glucose. Glucose is used by the plants itself, and the rest glucose will convert into starch, and this starch will be stored in different parts of the plants, right? And we all living beings like us, human beings, animals, we eat these different parts of the plant. So let us perform another activity to show that in starch, a leaf was made in the leaf itself and not received by leaf from some other parts of the plant. Let's see how we do it. Leaves by the process of transpiration. Now what is transpiration, kids? Transpiration means the water is being absorbed by the roots and it is transported to stem. Stem is transporting it to other parts of the plant, but this water gets evaporated also with the sunlight. So this process is called transpiration. It releases extra water from the plant through the stomata to prevent plant decay. Sometimes it happens that we poured so much of water into the plant. So what will happen if it will not taken out? So plant can be die, right? So plant also doing this activity on their own. This process is known as transpiration. So extra water is evaporating from the leaves, and if there is the lack of water in the plant, the roots again absorb the plants and nutrients and and then transporting it again to the plant. It also helps in cooling down the structures of the plant. When the water escapes from the leaf, the roots pull more water from the soil and compensate for this loss, right? Root is again absorbing and transporting. Leaves are transpiration. This transpiration is being done by leaves, and again the roots are. So this is the function which is moving, continuously moving. This water which is pulled by the roots from the soil also bring nutrition with it, and these nutritions are very important. We have already studied about the nutrition also in the same class, also in the previous chapters. Nutrients are also important for us. We have understood about the vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, fats, right? So plants also need nutrition to grow and to make food. Then only we will get this nutrition from the food, right? Plant is preparing, it is storing in the food, and when we are consuming the vegetables and fruits, we are getting these nutrients. And the fruits and vegetables are called the protective food. Right, kids? Excellent. Now modification in these. Modifications are there in the stem, in the root and leaves as well. Have you ever noticed a pea plant or gloriosa plant? Examine a pea or gloriosa plant carefully. You will find that some of the upper leaflets are modified into slender, wiry and coiled structure. These are called what? These are called tendrils. The name given of these structure is tendrils. These tendrils coil around the object to give support to the climbers to climb. We all know that pea plant, grapevine, these are climbers, right? We have seen in the beginning of the chapter. These are climbers, so they need support to climb up. So tendrils help the plant, or tendrils provide that support so that the plant can climb up. So in cactus, leaves are modified to form pointed structure which is called spines. This helps the plants to reduce the loss of water from the leaves and protect the plant from grazing animals. We all know about the cactus. Cactus plant doesn't have leaves. It has what you call spines. It is needle-like structure, right? So the leaves transpiration is continuously being done by the leaves. So the leaves have reduced to spine to reduce the loss of water, because cactus grow in the desert region, so there is the scarcity of water, right? So to prevent the loss of water, the leaves has turned into spines so that transpiration cannot be done and water can be reserved. And it also protects the cactus from being grazed by the animals. Now we will learn about the other part of the plant, which is flower. One of the easiest way of identifying a particular variety of plant is by its flower. The flower is a very beautiful part of the plant. It is in different colors, different shapes. Some plants gives you fragrance also. We make perfumes with the flowers, right? So it's in different shape, size and colors. Some have nice fragrance, whereas some don't have. Some kinds of plants produce single flower and other grows in cluster. You'll find some plant is the flowers are growing in the single flowers are growing, and in some plants it grows in cluster, means in group. Still others such as sunflowers have many tiny flowers that form a single flower like thread. You have seen the sunflower plant, or you can Google it, you'll find the pictures of sunflower. It has many tiny flowers that form a single flower. It is thread-like structure. You'll find when you'll see the picture of sunflower, you'll find there are some tiny thread-like structures in a single flower. Now we will discuss the structure of flower, what all the parts of flower has. The structure of a flower too varies. A typical or complete flower is one which comprises sepals, petals, stamen and pistils. So these are the parts of flower. So we will discuss in detail about all these parts of a flower. So sepal. So this structure, it is visible to you. It is green in color, small structure, right? So this is called the sepal, right? And it is the outermost and small leaf-like part at the base of the flower. You'll find it just below the flower. This structure is called the sepal. It is green in color and sepal protect the flower when it is a bud. Right? When the flower was bud actually blooms into flower. So it protects, it covers the bud. The sepal covered the bud, and when the bud blooms into flower, it protects the flowers too. It opens and it gives support to the flower. So this is called sepal. Sepal also support the petals when flower blooms. Petals are either colored or white. Petals attract the insects for pollination. We will also discuss about the pollination here. So these are the petals. Petals are actually in different colors and in different sizes. So some are white, some are pink, red. You'll see different colors in the petals. So this is the petals. This is the other part of the flower. Now stamens and pistils are two more parts that are inside the flower. Right? We will see what it is. Stamens are the male part of the flower. At the tip of the stamens are the anthers. I'll show you the anthers also. Stamens are just remember the stamens are the male part of the flower and tip is called anther and it contains what? It contains the pollen sacs in which pollen grains are formed. Pollen grains are formed in the pollen sac and the pollen sac is in the anther and anther is the top part of a stamen. When the flower has fully bloomed, pollen appears as a powdery material. It is powder-like material. You all are using talcum powder, right? It is powder-like material. On the anther, different types of flowers have different pollen. So I'll show you the stamen. This is the stamen. This structure is the stamen and this is the male part of the flower and this portion is called anther. Anther is the topmost part which has pollen sacs and pollen sacs are the part where pollen grains are formed. So pollen grain is, what is pollen grain? It is the powdery substance, right? Pistil. Pistil is the female part of a plant. They are present in the center of the flower. We are talking about pistil now. It is the female part of the flower that present in the center of the flower. They are made up with three parts. Slightly swollen is stigma. Then slender stalk. It is called style. And the middle and the swollen is ovary at the bottom. So ovary at the bottom, then it has the stalk, and the upper part is called stigma. The ovary contains one or more ovules. So ovules develop into seeds, right? So how the seeds are? The pollen grains, where the pollen grains are formed in the anthers, right? In the pollen sac, which is an anther. Now the pistil has ovules in it, and ovules, when the flower turns into fruit, so the ovules gets turned into seeds. You eat the seed. Actually, you are eating the ovules, and the swollen part that we eat, it is what? It is the ovary of a flower. I'll show you in the picture too, kids. This is the pistil. This is the pistil. It is in the center of the flower. This swollen part, can you see this swollen part? This is ovary. This is the style, and this is called the stigma, right? So ovules are there in the ovary. When it blooms, it turns into fruit. It turns into the fruit. So ovules turn into seeds, and the swollen parts turn into fruit. Have you got it, kids? Nice. Now, the next topic of the chapter is pollination. As we know that flower has male reproductive part, which is stamen. It contains anther and filament. The anthers have pollen sacs and are filled with the pollen that we have just studied. The male part, anther, it has pollen. It has pollen sacs, which is filled with pollen, and the pollen grains are transferred from anther to the stigma. It gets transferred from the anther to stigma, either of the same or another flower of the plant, same kind. And how this takes place? This takes place by wind, water, or insects. Some insects sit on the flowers to collect the nectar, right? So pollen grains are attached with their wings or with their legs when they sit on another flower. So they leave this pollen grains there, and it changes into fruit. So this process is known as pollination, and this happens with the help of water, with the help of air, with the help of insects. So you can see in this picture pollination by insect. A honeybee is sucking this nectar from the flower. Butterfly is also there, and this is the picture of pollination by wind, right? This powdery like substance is moving with the help of wind, and it is being transferred to the other flowers of the same plant and to the other plant. After pollination, the ovary swells up and changes into fruit, and the ovules changes into seeds. A fruit is generally made of fruit wall and seeds. That is why we have learned that some of the flowers changes into fruit in the earlier classes. Now you got to know why only some flowers changes into fruits. This is because of the pollination. So after pollination, what happens? The ovary swells up and it changes into fruit, and the ovules that are present in the ovary is changed into seeds. We throw the seeds and we eat the swollen part which is called ovary as a fruit. But some seeds are also there that we eat, like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. We are eating the melon seeds also, right? So you can see in this picture mango, apple, orange, right? So this is the ovary, the swollen part is ovary, and this is the seed, means this is the ovule. Apples also. Some fruits have many seeds, some fruits have few seeds, and some fruits don't have seeds, like banana, oranges. So that's it for this chapter, kids. Hope you have learned so many things about the plants, their functions, their different parts, and how the fruits and flowers are grown and changes into. Now let's recall, according to the size and the nature of stem, plants can be classified as herbs, shrubs and trees, right? Climbers and creepers also. A flowering plant is made up of two systems. First is root system and another is shoot system. The tap root is the main root from which a number of branches arises, and this root is called the main root, and some small branches arises from this main root. So this is called the tap root system. Fibrous root system, there is no main root. It is thread-like structure that grows in the cluster. Main functions of roots we already discussed, that it fixes the plants into the ground, absorbs water and minerals from the soil, and it also holds the soil firmly so that soil erosion can be prevented. Modified roots store food and give extra support to the plant, right? Modified root, modified leaves, modified stems. Main function of stems are they keep the plant upright, bear the branches, leaves, flowers and fruits, and also transport water and minerals to the different parts of the plant. Now next is a modified stem gives support, store food, supply water and also prepare food for plants, right? Leaves of green plants prepare food for the rest of the living world by the process which is known as photosynthesis. In certain plants, leaves also get modified into tendrils which gives support to the plant. In some other plants, the leaves are modified into spines to reduce the water loss and to protect plants from grazing by the animals. That happens in the case of cactus. So, time for question answers. First is name two stems which are modified to store food. Now you need to give the examples of modified stems that store or stores food. Can you give me the examples of these two? These are potatoes and onions. These are modified stems. What is the flat green portion of a leaf called? Can you tell me, kids? Very good answers. It is leaf plate, or we call it lamina. Excellent. Now, which part of the flower protects it when it is still a bud? We have just discussed the structure of a flower. It is sepals. Excellent answers. Now, next is what kind of venation would you expect to find in a plant with a tap root? I told you by the venation you can identify which kind of root plant has the reticulate venation has the taproot system. Now, what is pollination? We have discussed. What is transpiration? We have already discussed. In what way prop roots help the plant? Prop roots we have seen in the banyan tree. It is growing towards the ground and it grows and gives extra support to the tree. The leaf is called the food factory of a plant. Give reason that you can do it. It brings food for the plant. Explain the difference between climbers and creepers. Creepers creep on the ground because and both the plants have creepers and climbers have weak stem and it grows, it creeps on the ground and climbers need support to climb up. Do you agree that stem is like a two-way street? Name the material that goes up the stem and that which comes down. Yes, it is two-way street. The water which is absorbed by the roots is passing through by these waves by the stem and also it is transporting the food that is prepared by the leaf to the other parts of the plant and it is being stored there and we are consuming. So hope you have understood everything about the plant now, right? So stay excited for the clamp of another videos, kids. I will connect you in the next class of science. Till then, bye and take care of yourselves.